It feels heavy, man. It feels heavy. Oh my gosh.
Whoa, 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 whoa. My leg.
All right.
So as we speak, we're unloading the world's biggest motorcycle, the infamous Roadog. And if we're lucky, we're gonna get this thing fired up today. And if that happens, maybe somebody's crazy enough to take this thing down the road. If you've ever heard of the Roadog, you know that it's one of the most iconic motorcycles ever built. Measuring over 17 feet and weighing in at over 3,200 pounds, it's a vast departure from your standard motorcycle. It's got a 4-cylinder Chevy 2 engine, and then it has a Power Glide transmission. That's like a cut down Ford drive shaft or something?
Yeah, because that's a rear differential. They block this side off, they cut it down. The shaft just goes out to the, it's like a funnel drive.
Look at that's the world's biggest swing arm. Look at the size of that.
The front fork setup is 700 pounds.
In 1965, a man named Wild Bill Geldke set out to build the ultimate touring motorcycle. And somehow he ended up with this. So if we actually can get this thing fired up and running today, we may find out if it is the ultimate touring motorcycle. But we got all hands on deck. We got Chris, Tony's here, Ken, of course we got Sean. So we're gonna jump in and see what we can make happen. So first order operations, we're gonna get some oil back in the engine. We're gonna check compression and spark. One of the major things about this motorcycle is it's 3,200 pounds. So in order to keep the bike up, it's got these crazy outriggers here that are hydraulically operated. That's the kickstand. In order to get hydraulic pressure, we got to get this engine to fire up. So first order operation, see if it runs.
Let's check the spark.
Did you spin this over? Did you hit the button?
I did.
It did. Does it turn over?
It turned.
It turns over. Then we're gonna go without checking the points.
Are you ready?
I think. Let me pull that plug out. No spark. Pull the cap. Should we make sure we have power to here before we go pulling all this? Because if we don't have power to the coil, we sure won't be getting any spark out of the distributor.
12 volts.
12 volts to the coil. 12 volts out of the coil. Okay, distributor. So what do we got in here? Not the easiest thing to see. There's some corrosion there. Then we got any sandpaper over there? There's pretty heavy corrosion on those. So now, just bump the starter. Just barely bump it. Okay. Oh yeah, now we got spark at the points.
Spark
at the points, yeah. Okay, distributor cap back on. Oh, we might be really close. So the more we work on this thing, I like totally feel like this bike is a reflection of Geldke's character. I would have loved to have met him. Like heavy, hard to ride, totally impractical, out of the ordinary. It sounds like Geldke. You look at something like this and think that this guy was like a backyard mechanic and just cobbled the whole thing together, and it really couldn't be further from the truth. Like, he was actually an aerospace engineer. He made guidance systems and black boxes for missiles for defense contractors and stuff. So he ended up quitting McDonnell Douglas and opened up a bike shop. And then later on, he bought a semi, truck and trailer. Then he was hauling vegetables. And the cops around the area were real suspicious. They thought he was running drugs. So one day they surrounded his place. And this is where the story gets a little weird. One is that he pulled the gun out and shot the guy that he had bad blood with, and they all loaded him up. And then the second story was that he set it down. One of the police officers like tripped over some ice.
Yeah, that's I heard that one.
And
also.
then they all loaded him up. Either way, he got shot up a bunch of times, and that's when the Roadog disappeared. You know, after Geldke's death, the bike just disappeared. Nobody saw the thing for decades. Make sure, let me see, we're looking for fuel. The mechanical fuel pump runs off engine speed, so might need to prime it. Well, let me, yeah, it's starting to leak now. Oh, there we go. Well, we're primed.
Right.
Okay. Onto the carburetor. Dude, this looks dry, man. That's gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
I don't even think we'll have to take that carburetor apart, man. It's a Rochester carb, which I've never messed with a Rochester carb, but Ken says they're all the same, so they're all the same. I'm wondering if at this point we go ahead and rebuild that master cylinder, because we know it's gonna need to be rebuilt. You know, you want brakes?
Yeah, that's be a good idea. My wife told me to have brakes.
Brakes are good. Okay. We could probably do the front one also. Might be worth just rebuilding both of them.
Yeah, I feel like on this bike, if you had one brake, you want to be the front brake.
Beautiful. Okay.
So there's probably only one man in the country, and he's dead, who's rebuilt more brake master cylinders on Roadog than my man Chris.
So while we're rebuilding the rear master cylinder, we're going to go ahead and do the front one as well because it's not showing much signs and it's empty up here. So it needs to be cleaned to make sure that when we put fluid in there, it's not going to take all that trash and push it through the brake lines and cause problems down the road.
Okay, you're being timed.
Perfect.
Okay, you're being timed. So in the summer of 1972, a photographer actually captured a picture of Gelbke on this motorcycle, unlike anything he'd ever seen before. The photo gets picked up Cycle News magazine and immediately captured the curiosity of all its readers. Hung it on their shop walls, hung it in bars, hung it in restaurants. I mean, became one of the most famous motorcycle photos, period. And nobody ever knew what was with the bike, where the bike was. So Bill Gelbke kind of just became this famous kind of cult hero, all wrapped around the creation of the Roadog. We got spark to the plugs, starter turns perfect. We've got fuel to the fuel pump. Next, we're gonna fire the engine up. So we got fuel coming out of the fuel pump up to that carburetor. Fingers crossed we don't need to rebuild the carb. After that, we're reinstalling brake master cylinders and making sure all this hydraulic equipment works, and hopefully we'll be riding this thing in an hour or two. So you remember me saying that after Gelbke's death, the bike disappeared. I bet you're wondering, where did it go and how did it get here? So there was this guy named Buzz Walneck. He made it his personal mission to chase down the Roadog. He even ended up putting an ad in his own magazine, Walneck's Cycle Trailer. Within about a month, he actually got a lead, and it led him to none other than Gelbke's mom's house. Walneck ended up buying the bike from Gelbke's mother and actually toured around with the thing, would haul it around on a trailer, show up to swap meets, show up at bike shows. That's when Walneck later sold it to a collector, and the collector actually donated it to the National Motorcycle Museum. As a lot of you guys know, the National Motorcycle Museum had a huge auction, and this bike was sold at that auction.
Then I tracked down the person who bought it, and then like 2 days ago, I was like, hey, would you want to sell it? He's like, yeah, I'd sell it. He didn't even get it out of his trailer yet. And now we're here.
What's the speedo go up to? 160.
Yeah. It'll do it. He said he would cruise at 100 miles an hour. Every time he got pulled over, they never gave him a ticket because they would just want to ask about the bike.
Ask about the bike. Wonder what it sounds like. Ah!
This one's ready.
That one's ready?
Yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna start it first.
All right.
You guys ready?
Behind you.
All right, fire it up. Ready, go. Ah! Come on. Yes! You're in gear? Now you're not.
What am I in now?
You about went through the garage door. Yes!
Hey, it's working.
Yep, coming outside, working. Holy smokes, dude, it ran. Now to the bleed, huh?
Funnels are proposers.
Pump it till it's tight.
It feels like it's building. It sure would seem like you'd get a larger spurt than that, though.
Yeah, it doesn't have much spurt in it.
If you fire it up and put it in drive, can you pump the brakes to get you to stop? Because it's not catching every time, but you ought to be able to pump it to be able to come to a stop, seemingly, right? So...
Find out.
Little gas. Bring that down there.
There you go.
Oh! Does your brake work? Brake works.
It's holding it back a little bit. It is holding it back.
So the brakes may be good now, but there's absolutely no telling what's gonna happen when this thing gets rolling. So running this bike is one thing. Getting it down the road is gonna be a complete another hurdle that we've got to overcome. We got brakes, we got hydraulics, which, you know what, it didn't lift the bike. No. But it's gonna be real interesting as soon as we get this off of those blocks to see how this plays. Because look at this, these slip down. Yeah. I don't know why they slip down.
Right.
But the last thing you want is them slipping down when you ride it.
Yeah, you don't want that.
You know, like
yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster. It's getting sketchier by the minute.
So we're gonna check there's automatic transmission fluid in here that powers the hydraulic pumps for the rams to park the bike. So now that we filled it up before we started, we're gonna check it again. Oh yeah, that's what it is.
It's just low.
We just pushed all the fluid through the lines.
Pushed all the fluid through. Yeah, beautiful. So truth be told, this bike scares the absolute heck out of me. We're gonna try and get Sean to ride it.
So, me and Matt are having a little bit of a discussion as to who's gonna ride the bike first.
You ride it first though, because you're bigger than me.
Yeah. You wanna do rock, paper, scissors?
We can do rock, paper, scissors, man, but I might throw it.
How do you throw rock, paper? All right, best out of one.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, so wait. One,
One,
2, 3, shoot.
2, 3, shoot.
Okay, ready?
1, 2, 3, shoot. Let me go grab my helmet.
Yeah, grab your helmet. I got it.
And my gloves.
Are they holding?
He won, but I'm out of here, dude. See ya! So, if I can ride this thing, I think I might actually try and buy it from Sean. I don't know if he'll let it go or not, but this thing will be right at home at Wheels Through Time. So there's reverse.
Neutral.
Hand on the brake.
And is that low gear?
That's low.
Okay.
Do you want to go high gear?
Yeah, try it. Pop it in there.
You're nervous. Get her done, man. How's it steer when you're on it?
It feels heavy, man. It feels
heavy.
Oh my God.
Woo!
This sucker's big.
Sucker's big. You're gonna want to cut it. You're about at that point now. His feet are up.
Oh man.
Wow, you gotta be tough, dude.
Oh!
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that all it fell over?
That's all it went.
You sure you didn't win that rock, paper, scissors?
I'll win it.
You win it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah?
I'm gonna let the master show me how to do it. Yeah, it does.
This is crazy. 100 miles an hour in my butt, dude. No way.
You're doing it.
Woo! You just gotta commit. You just gotta commit, dude. That was the scariest thing I've ever done. and that's saying a lot. Dude, and just turning into this parking lot was the scariest thing I've ever done.
Crushed it, man.
Holy smokes, dude. You gonna ride it back?
Dude, this bike horrifies me, man. I think I might want to ride in the parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a smart way to do it.
Yeah, good thinking, good thinking.
That's why it's there.
Okay,
Just to confirm, I'm not committing driving it back to the shop. All right. All right, pop it in.
you want it in low?
Yeah, let's do low.
Go for it.
All right, got it.
Just commit. That looks so insane.
I know.
Easy,
You're running out of parking lot.
easy, easy. He's doing it. I'm telling you, it's got to be the most difficult motorcycle in the world to ride. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like it. Is that a handful or what, dude?
Dude, turning left is way harder than turning right.
Turning left is harder than turning right.
Turning left is so hard.
What is it with that?
I think it's something with that differential being on that one side and being so big. I did it. I'm gonna tell everyone I did it, and I'm gonna call it a day. I saw you take your hand off for a moment.
I took my
I was like,
hand
this
off.
dude's a goat. Well,
It's not gonna ride itself
I know you're
home.
excited to get back on this one.
It's not gonna ride itself home.
All right.
Am I riding it back?
Yeah, you're the guy.
You want to ride on the back?
Yeah.
Just a couple of dudes out for a ride.
Nothing wrong with that.
See, that's the beauty. That's the only reason you put two people on it is for a second pair of legs when you stop.
exactly.
It starts going
Yeah.
over, yeah.
You gonna ride on the back?
I don't know.
Dude, it's horrifying, man. This bike is the scariest bike. This is the scariest thing, dude. It's what men do.
This is what men do. Now, don't you go leaning like my wife does when we go riding. My wife's like
No.
leaning into turns, and I'm like, wait a minute. Hey, we're not there yet. Hold on.
What? Hold on to something.
We're gonna practice.
Yeah! 100! They get in your way, you run them over. Woo! Yeah! There we go. We got it. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Oh, this looks like I rode off with it and then I came back on the back.
It's the scariest thing I've ever done. Yeah. No, that was way scarier in the airplane. Hey, dude. Nice
Nailed
ride.
it, man.
I had a blast.
Yeah, what is this life that we're living?
I'm telling you, listen to that radiator.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, I'm still in gear. Okay,
Let me get the back.
get the backs. We made it. Operation success. Roadog, no brakes. We did it. I'm telling you, it is by far the scariest motorcycle I've ever ridden. It's you know, you gotta, I'm speechless, you know. You have to fully commit. You sure you don't want to try it when it cools off?
Take a rain check on that one. My legs feel like jello, man. You know what though? I'm gonna round that up that we hit 80 miles an hour.
We hit 80. 80.
So after all the fun Sean and I had firing this thing up and running it down the road,
I decided to pop the question. You gonna sell it to me?
Yeah, I'll sell it to you.
You gonna sell it to me?
I'll do it. Sell it to you.
All right, man. I can't believe he actually went for it. Roadog, new addition right here at Wheels Through Time. I'm so stoked to have the bike on display here at the museum. It's gonna be one heck of an exhibit. Make sure you come and see it. Something does tell me though that Sean in the future is gonna wanna come back and redeem himself, so stay tuned.
I was gonna make it my daily, but I was like, you know what? I'll let other people.
See a little tough
other
to get in and out of
bikes.
the subdivision.
I'll let other people ride it and stuff. And although I might want to do a road trip on this, so just be aware.